time I'm ever capping when the shows sell out. Most of y'all cannot imagine being a ghost to cloud. Not respected or connected when the modem's down, and quick to phone the clowns whenever the hoes around. But me,
so it's Monday morning, and as I said in my previous video, I'm heading to London this week. This week's program starts with today, where I've got tempo 3 kilometers. So I'll do conversational pace for a bit. Then I've got 4:25 pace for 3 kilometers. Head off to London, and tomorrow morning, Tuesday, I've got 400 meter repeats. I think there's about 8 in total at 3:55 pace. Then I've got an easy run, which I'm gonna move from Thursday to Wednesday because I've got an early start on Thursday and then I fly back. I'll use Thursday as a bit of a rest day. Friday, go to the gym when I'm back in Dubai. And then on Saturday, we've got the 28 kilometer long run, which will be my longest run so far. So quite a lot going on. Now, heading out for just 3 days in London, there's quite a bit. Shoe-wise, my Pegasus 41s, I use these as my travel shoes. I love these because it's got the Watch Me Work logo on them. I use these as my travel shoes because I can kind of wear them. They're nice enough to wear on the flight and to wear about. Great for running. And then I've got all my stuff here. So I've got gloves in case it's cold. I've got my insulated running tops. So that's all that. But I've got a flight at 12 o'clock. So I've got to go out, do today's session, head to the airport, and then we'll get going. So let's go run. So now we are on the business end of the running program. Today, got a tempo. So I've got this warm up for about 2K. Then it's gonna be 3K at 4:25 all through, and then a sort of cool down. Okay. Coming to the end of the conversational run, and here counting down, and I'll see you guys. Bye. On the bridge, and I'm struggling. Then my GPS is out. So that was tough. I've got 1.4 cool down, which I'm doing now.
I've been heavy lifting, revealing what was meant to happen. It's already written. She let me hit it to my song.
And there's it done. Let me stop and see. The run, if I look at it, I averaged 4:30. I was meant to do 4:25, so it wasn't actually that bad. The issue was how I did the individual Ks. So I did one at 4:33. I think I did one at 4:19, and then one at 4:28. So there was no consistency. My cool down was 5:13, and it felt slow. And again, it's that thing, once you've been running fast, when you cool down, it suddenly feels really slow. So that was good. Now we're gonna head home, need to have a shower, get to the airport and fly to London. I have forgotten how cold it is. It is freezing. Gloves on, and not looking forward to it. It is nice and bright though, which is good. For some reason I thought it would be a bit dark. It's 6:15, not dark, but I've got 2K warm up, and then I've got the drills to come, so we'll see how that goes. So just on the walking break, got 120 seconds walking break, and then I start 400 meters at 3:55, and I'm going to do 4 of those with a 60-second walk in between. And what I'm going to do is do them all in one direction for the first 4, and I get 4 coming back. I'll do the other direction, and then jog back to the hotel. So that is the plan. 3 down, 1 to go. That was harder than it felt. I'm averaging 137. Right now I don't know if 137 is on the 3:55 pace. So I got 1.8 back to the hotel, shower, and then I've got a day of meetings. So just walking to the South Bank, and at moments like this I'm kind of going, it's not so bad running in London. It's crisp, it's nice, but the key thing to remember is this is the weather I love. It's cold, but it's dry. It's very crisp. It's actually really good for running. If you're dressed just right, you can go ages and ages in this weather. Got a twinge just where my left calf kind of meets the ankle at the back. Hope it's nothing. First time I've felt anything on my actual legs. That worries me in quite a while. So I didn't bring my gun, but I'll massage it a bit and see. I do wonder if it's the weather. Also running in slightly different shoes, which have a very different makeup, these Nikes, to my Cloud Monsters, but we'll see. Finished where I started, 7.5, gave me 100%, but it always does for the easy runs, but I don't do anything stupid, like running too fast. Felt really warm at some points, kind of, is it overkill with the beanie and the gloves and everything, but as soon as I stop, like now and I'm walking, I'm freezing, so definitely not overkill. I can't be those people in the t-shirts and shorts. They're a different breed. Gonna go shower, get into another day of meetings. Morning, and it is Saturday, and this weekend is important because it's Eid weekend, so a very important weekend. And then to add on to that, there's a small matter that today I'm off to do my 28k long run. So we're going to a place called Kite Beach, which has a sort of 7.5k running track by the water on the beach. There's also a cycle track and a walking sort of pavilion right next to it as well. Now you can connect Kite Beach to Dubai Creek, essentially 7 Kite Beach and another 7 at the creek, which will get me 14. Spin round to come home as an out and back, which will get me 28k. I'm hoping that's how it's gonna play out.
Galaxy.
All right, we are at the start position, and this is Kite Beach. And it's the dedicated running track. You can see a lot of people starting off. Weather's good. It is 6:15, so everything goes to plan. I'm hoping to be done by 8:45, so before 9 o'clock. Let's see. So up and running, 28k easy run, and as I mentioned earlier, 7 of it will be on the dedicated running track, one way, 7 by the creek, and then back the way I came. So just hit the 5k mark. Feeling good. It's roughly a 5:30 pace, and there's a nice breeze. The sun is coming up on my right, so behind the camera. Lots of people running, but there's still a bit of a shade. I'm not looking forward to this on the return. I'm getting to the end of the actual running track, and it's, for the record, it's just under 7k. So as you can see, there's a bit of a bike track, but due to traffic, I'll stay on the pavement on the side rather than follow the bike track.
So I'm now in a mini half marathon after a 7k warm-up. But we're now by the creek, which is very different, and it's a bit of pavement with bike routes on the side as well. We are now in the concrete jungle, and it's very breezy. So the buildings kind of funnel the air right through the middle, so it's very, very windy, which is great. It makes me feel cool. I'm not complaining. This area is still being built, and it's a bit more urbanized. You can tell the construction sounds, but on the right side, you just got this continuous running route, which is great. We're now downtown. That was Burj Khalifa, and got about 16.2. How do I feel? I feel from a running perspective, endurance, my feet, my ankles, my calves, everything feels good. I need to use the toilet. So, interesting story. I literally went into one of the buildings, not open, it's a residential building, and the guy actually pulled out the key to the disabled toilet because it's not open. The toilet was not actually open for use, so he actually gave me the key to go open up the toilet, use it, lock it, hand it back. So, turn around and you can see Burj in the background. It's a great view. Where am I now? Still got 10 to go. So the progress is slow and monotonous. I'm just gonna keep pushing on. Just approaching the 21k mark. So half marathon distance and almost back of the beach. And then it's 7k to the finish. I'm beginning to flag, I must say. Lack of sleep, so many other things kicking in, but it's not so bad. I think once I get on the water, and I know I just need to keep going, I'll be fine. We've just done 25k, so the longest I've ever run, and I've got 3k to go. Send me to 28. I feel good. A few aches, but not too bad. Should be fine. I am struggling now. I'm just hanging on to the end. Yeah, all that bravado and optimism gone. I just want to see the finish line. How am I going to do 42?
Was it that bad?
So, at the finish line, and yeah, 28. Felt tough. I'm not going to do the post-mortem now. I need to get home, have a shower and have a think. Because what was going through my mind was, I've got to do 14 on top of this. How do I do that? So that's something I need to think about. But let's get home, let's see, and I'll do a recap of this week, which has been quite eventful, and let you know, guys, what next week is going to hold. So see you at home. So having a quick soak, needed that. How did it go? Once I hit around the 23k mark, it's almost like my brain knew this is the max we've ever gone before, and from there it just dropped off mentally. Now I was looking at the times, and I'll put it up on screen. I was looking at the times, and I was actually doing a decent pace. versus the average during those last 2 or 3K. But if you look at the heart rate jumps up significantly. So it shows you how much work in just the last 2 or 3K I had to do to maintain the same pace. That's something to think about. Hannah said something to me. She was like, don't let this run kind of taint all the work previously. Based on the thumbnail, I've come to 2 conclusions which are really important for the race. The first one is I know what shoe I'm running the race in. I'm going to run them in my Cloud Monster Hypers. I will take the Cloud Monster 2s to London as a backup just in case, just as a safety net. I think I can run the marathon in either shoe, but it's definitely going to be the Hypers. And then the second thing is I will use the gummies instead of gels. The gummies just felt easy to take on board while running. I felt the impact, didn't hurt my stomach. I was done, ready to carry on running in the space of a minute. And gel's just, the consistency just doesn't work for me. So those are 2 decisions made. The third big decision is I need to understand what I'm doing from a work perspective to arrange flights and stuff to London, the hotel I'm going to stay. So I'm going to try and do that this weekend going into next week. But literally that's the end of this week. There's nothing more to share. Next week, we ramp it up even a bit more, culminating in what will be the longest run of the entire training program, which will be 32. I'm going to do it on the same route, which is quite interesting. It's because I now know what that route feels like. I know what it entails, etc. And all I'm doing is doing an extra 2 in each direction. So I think that's good for the mental aspect. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Obviously, click the like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell icon so you get notifications every time I post. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Only time I'm ever capping is when the shows sell out. Most of y'all cannot imagine being a ghost to cloud.